Hello there folks, welcome to a brand new series here on the Football Games Room. Sorry we've not been posting any videos for the last few weeks, but Tom and I have been pretty busy with exams and rest of uni stuff. So yeah, we're back with a brand new series. As you can see, it is FIFA 20. We're in the Pro Clubs menu currently, about to create our club actually, so let's just go into that. So I think we were going to try and name it Football Games Room FC, but it's too many letters, so we're going to, I think, go for FGR FC. It's quite a simple name, I suppose, and one that certainly fits into the parameters. In terms of kit, then we were United kit would be nice. I think that green and red one's certainly interesting. Let's go for the standard Football Games Room colours for the home kit. And we did actually decide beforehand we're going to go for this jazzy number here, this Adidas one. Not quite going to go for the red, green, yellow combination, which looks more like the Senegal kit than anything else. So let's go for that nice red. Oh, okay. Let's change the secondary one first to white, primary to red, and tertiary. We have the nice white trim on the socks as well there. Lovely. So home kit all sorted. Get onto the away kit then. Same design, and we wanted to go for a nice blue, I think, because I've got red, which is both the Football Games Room colours and also Manchester United colours. So for the away kit, we'll go with a nice blue there for Tom, and white, and looks pretty good to me. There we go. So red and white kits there, and our crest. We tried to go for something a bit similar to the FGR logo. So we've got this nice football here on here, circular one, and we'll just make that red, white and black with no EA Sports FIFA writing on. Perfect. I think that looks pretty good to me. I know that Tom thinks it looks good too because we went through it earlier. So those are the kits all sorted. Abbreviation then, I think that's quite standard FGR. Matchmaking, public club, I think no. We just want to keep it between the both of us. We don't want any random people joining our club. Home stadium then, we wanted to go for as big as we could at this stage, just, you know, aim high and all the rest of it. So we've gone for the current QPR stadium, the Kian Prince Foundation Stadium, or the Loftus Road if you prefer. And I think we managed to fit in Stad, I think it was Stad Football Games Room we went for. So just sort that. Because Football Games Room Stadium was again too long a name. I guess the problem with having such a long channel name. Good thing we didn't go for Josh and Tom's Football Games Room FC or something like that. Let's get football games. Ooh. Room, there we go. Excellent. So that looks good to me. Apply and exit. So commentary name. I think we had to go for a standard one here. We didn't really want a place name, A, because we both live in different parts of the country. So let's just go for Football Club because it's got football just like our channel in its name. Positions, it doesn't really matter really because it's only the two of us. So let's create the club. And here we are. So we're currently in the Pro Clubs menus. All I need for Tom to do now is to join the club. So Tom, if you are you on the other end, Tom?
I am on the other end.
Excellent.
How are you doing?
I'm well, looking forward to getting this club set up. So all I need you to do then is to join the club. Just, I think if you search for FGR FC.
I'm already on it. I'm already on it. I'm just requesting my transfer.
Excellent. So since we are recording on my PS4, obviously everything that you see is what I do. So we've got the transfers here, and there he is. Accept.
Discussing personal terms at the moment, I think.
Yeah. No signing on fee.
No signing on fee, no.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Play a packet of Skittles per match. Right, here we are then. So we've got both of us in the squad. Let's
What's my goal bonus?
Have a look at my pro. I've played a few matches already. Tom and I have played a couple of matches beforehand too. So I've played 4 matches, 2 goals, 5 assists. Perhaps not the best return from 14 shots and a 6.9 average rating so far. No man of the matches there, which probably says more about the game than it does me. That's the line I'm going to go with. So I've added a few stats from the player growth XP you get just to try and boost the pace and the shooting, which I think is the best way to go when you're starting off with a striker. I've gone for my height there, and I've tried to go for setting my weight about 5 months ago. After lockdown, not so sure. But as I said, I think shooting and pace are the key stats you want to boost when you're making the striker. And I think, Tom, your player is a striker as well, is he not?
Yes, I am. I'm number 9. I only set this up yesterday, but again, I think I need to apply some skill points at some point. But again, very similar to you. You like your pace, you like your shooting, particularly as a striker. I'll be controlling myself, but I think you'll be controlling the rest of the team.
Yeah, but I'm going to try it just because I'm the more experienced FIFA player. If it turns out that it just doesn't go very well, Tom can have a go, I guess. Or we'll try just us both occupying one sole position, and then maybe letting the AI control the rest of the team. It certainly is an absolute bastard to play against the AI, so maybe it works, we'll see. So I think without any further ado, unless there's anything else that you wanted to add before we get into our first match, Tom, is to launch straight into divisions.
I'll just say to all the viewers, if you think I'm a terrible FIFA player, it probably is because I am, but I have an excuse that I only got my PS4, I think, under 2 months ago. So please don't judge me, everyone.
I think they're all going to judge you anyway, let's face it. So
I'm
if you
sure
want
they
to
will.
head into
That's
the
what you
match
can
lobby,
say.
Tom, we'll get our match up and running.
Right, let me
While you do that, I'll just sort out our formation. I think because both of us like playing 4-1-2-1-2 on Ultimate Team, wide especially, just to get the width with the wingers. I'll captain the side, why not? I think I've probably got the better stats when it comes to free kicks, so and penalties, so we'll keep it as that. Corners we'll leave as is. Let's start off with... We'll start off with the friendly, I think, actually. Just first episode. We don't want to be getting too competitive, I suppose, early on. Let's just try and find our feet a bit. Not really fussed about the rest of that. If they want to use the keeper or not, I really don't care, and I don't think Tom does either.
No, I don't.
So that's the playing style I've gone for. I don't quite know why EA have decided that they felt the need to add 5 different playing styles that you can use your XP to try and create different styles of player. Just stick to one, I think, and develop that all the way. Seems to be the most logical way to go forward. So Tom's all in, I'm all in, there is any, so let's get into it. We not realise that. Okay, have to try and name the team that you challenged. I did not realise that. In which case, let's go to a league match and get started. As you can see, we're both quite newbies at pro clubs. I played it once about 3 years ago with some school friends. Didn't go too well. It took us about 100 games to get to Division 9 , which maybe says more about us.
Jazzy.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they? Jazzy. So should we go for... I probably should have gone for the blue kit in hindsight, but we're in red, they're in white.
Yeah. I think pro clubs, by the way, if anyone does at any stage, will probably run some kind of interactiveness later. If you're like a Division 1 Ultimate Team player and you want to come and help us out, I'm sure that'll be possible if you get in touch with us on social media. Especially if our first few results don't go so well, I'm sure we'll be appealing for that help. But we'll see how it goes, because I think it's really hard to tell.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that counts as a win. Probably doesn't. Or if we just...
Let's see what happens.
Nullifies that match. It's a great start, though. We didn't lose.
I think we kicked the ball precisely once. So
probably hasn't registered anything, has it? Let's
have a look. I'm the man of the match. I get 20 XP for because
that counts as a win. Excellent.
I was only supposed to kick the ball, so I've got the man of the match.
Excellent.
I'm loving life.
But that has sent my average rating down. What a joke! What a joke! Look at that, 6.7.
Is that what you got?
No, that's my average rating now.
I don't think we need any pro FIFA players, Josh. I'm going to say this now. This is going to be a road to glory where we're going to... This might be the easiest road to glory ever if past record is anything to go on.
See, we might not ever get to this stage again when we've got 100% record, so let's just enjoy it. But, however, let's get into the next game then.
Yeah, we're not going to shortchange our viewers. We'll definitely play a proper game. You know.
I can only think that our opponent must have seen that we were the football games room, realised how good we were going to be, and then decided to just forfeit before they got embarrassed.
Yeah, I mean,
right,
the club's first game, but that's the sort of thing we do. The name, the channel name of a new upstart YouTube channel, it scares people, and I think that's a case in point, you know.
Not to be confused with Forest Green Rovers. No copyright issues intended there.
Well, we both eat meat, don't we?
Good point, yes.
Our kit's a completely different colour. So I don't think we need to worry too much.
And I feel like red maybe denotes blood for meat, anti-vegan. Waiting for this match to... Oh, here we go. Right. Right, maybe...
Oh, yeah, this is nice.
We'll go red against white.
Red on white, or we could go blue on red and black. It doesn't matter either way.
Akilan FC. Right, let's
see how long they last. If they're scared of the football games room, let's see if they last.
I've spent more time on this training pitch in the last 5 minutes than we have actually playing a match.
Oh yeah, I've got 100% score rate on this pitch, my friend.
Right, here we go. Match number 2.
Oh, we're at Loftus Road again. Oh, no.
When you're ready, right, there we go. So we've already played more seconds than in the first match. That didn't go well, right?
The match coming up very shortly. Really looking forward to what's going to
unfold. So yeah, Josh, are you up to any football? Missing the start of the league, and what's your stance on the restart that's kind of coming up? Are you pro it, or?
I actually really like Troy Deeney's stance, which is to say, why is so funny about that?
Well, as a United fan, and I guess knowing Liverpool are going to win the league.
Well, there's that, but also the point that if it's not safe, and I still don't believe it is safe, then I don't really think that it's necessary for football to start so soon again. I don't really buy the argument that it's going to reinvigorate society in the way that people like to claim it will. I think that they're coming back far too soon for the sake of financial reasons. Obviously, I don't want Liverpool winning the league, but I wouldn't want them winning the league under any circumstances.
No, and I apologise for laughing in the sense that there's a much more serious issue at play here, and I think there's a good point that actually you have to look at sporting integrity as well as safety and testing. And when you see Deeney and you see Kante, both. And they're just a few smaller examples of players who don't feel safe playing. How is there any integrity in the league if you've got teams whose squads might be completely diminished by players not feeling it safe? Especially given that actually in the UK there are some areas of the country that are safer than others. So how is it fair that the location of a club should determine possibly how safe their players feel and how kind of strong the squad is going into the project restart and the new fixtures? And I think that's a very serious issue. You know, joking aside, you can talk about Liverpool or not. My personal stance is, I hate saying it, but they've been one of the best teams, and I think it is probably only fair they get a chance to win the league. But there is so much more than that, and I do typically find it irritating when I hear Liverpool fans who come out and say that the league and Troy Deeney and Kante are against Liverpool and don't want the league to restart for that reason, because I think that's kind of undermining their position and actually a bit of a mistruth, you know?
Yeah.
Well, come on now, we can get a goal, I think.
And again, I think the fact that when you look at the lower divisions that have been cancelled, why are the lives of Premier League players perhaps being compromised when those of the lower league clubs, you know, League 1, League 2, not National League, etc., aren't being so? So what makes Premier League football safer than lower league football? And if it isn't safer, then why are they both going ahead? Unless there's a legitimate answer to that question, which I don't think there necessarily is, then I think that they, in that circumstance, I think they have to adopt a one-size-fits-all strategy.
I think the line of thinking was because the EFL obviously runs slightly different to the Premier League and everything. The argument was that League One and League Two literally do not have the money to run games behind closed doors, for one, and for two, I think the process of disinfecting their club buildings, which aren't as large and aren't as high tech, would be much less simple than the Premier League clubs.
But I think even Premier League clubs have got a risk of facing very significant financial difficulties.
But I think because there was the whole story about the broadcasters depending on money back, it becomes a case that actually for the top clubs more of the money comes from TV revenue. So playing games behind closed doors isn't so much of a problem.
But even that bothers me though, because if you sort of follow the line, so you say, okay, clubs can't afford to pay their staff because they're not getting money from TV revenue, fine. The TV companies are saying, well, we're not getting any money because we're not getting advertisements because there's no matches going on. Okay, fine. But then, if you follow that through, then why should we, the public, be paying for our sports packages if we're not getting what we're paying for?
And that's been something where I actually think, and I'm using Sky as an example here, for certain sports I see a really good effort by them to provide at least some value for money. And I look at the cricket coverage, they've got greats of the past to like basically commentate on past games, like their own performances. But for football, if they think that releasing a 1 hour live debate show a day and reviewing, you know, Premier League years that were on the Sky, like the Sky library for basically until the lockdown, is sufficient to warrant people paying £70–80 a month for HD football, then I think they're slightly deluded, really. I don't think it represents value for money.
I'm also getting very bored of Gary Neville's voice.
Oh, goodness. And then I think what the kicker is for subscription payers is when they're discussing the restart games being on free-to-air TV. Well, how is someone that's paid hundreds of pounds literally for Sky and BT through the lockdown, how are they, I mean, why should they at all feel like they're receiving value for money?
Well, exactly.
So say they I think the proposals are to broadcast the like 3 o'clock blackout games on free-to-air TV and keep the Sky and BT games as they would. I mean, how is it that they've paid for exclusive Premier League content and they're not getting it?
I agree. Let's take a little pause. And what do you make of that that first half? It wasn't too bad actually.
We really warmed into it, I will say.
I think we're making some good movements there.
Yeah, I'll just clarify, just because I want people on here to know, I'm not against football on free-to-air. I'm desperate for it to be more accessible, and I'm not against it being free-to-air. I'm more against the lack of value for money from the subscription broadcasters. So I'm not going out and saying they shouldn't be on free-to-air, but I suggest that bill payers should receive more coverage on football, or at least receive some money back.
Oh, what a joke.
Right, well, EA scripting, my friend. EA scripting.
Well, I don't know how that works, and we're already losing.
It's when they get a ball like that, there's not a great deal you can do. Let us know in the comments, guys, what you think of our performances. If you've got any tips for us. For me, on my end, certainly I'll be willing to hear from a more experienced player. But I'm not sure what more we could do.
I think the biggest problem is, and I don't know, but I would imagine that our opponents might have quite highly rated pros. Because they might have been playing pro clubs more than us. Just a thought.
Possibly. I mean, they should be in our division, so they shouldn't have played too much more.
Doesn't mean they're any good.
Doesn't mean they're any good. You're right.
But the thing is, if we've got an 81 rated striker and they've got an 89 rated striker, for example, and we get in the same position, I know who's more likely to score.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
Oh, is that a penalty?
No, it's outside the box.
Is it just? Oh, excellent.
Where it's a promising position.
Quite appreciate that Turbinator with the A and the umlaut. As a German speaker, I appreciate that immensely.
Yes, I like that. Oh, I'm only on a 6.3, so I need to improve mine. I haven't had a good game. I mean, I think I'm not going to be too upset because that man of the match performance is blinding. But let's see how this goes. Right, here we are. Let's go. As I say, we've had a win but not a goal. And in the words of Michael Owen, when he made that commentary line, if you don't score, you don't win for games. And everyone laughed at him. I can now see what he's talking about. We haven't scored, but we have won a game.
It turns out he was just talking about pro clubs.
He was. If anyone's been watching Harry's Heroes, I guess you'll have seen Michael Owen recently, but shame he had to drop out from the club. Definitely give it a watch, guys, if you've got access to the ITV hub. That was a good football series that was on throughout the lockdown. It certainly brightened up my mood. I don't know about you, John.
No, I loved watching it. The only thing I didn't like was that they had none of the players seemed to really stay, apart from about 5 of them, the only ones they really focused on. None of the subs we really saw, which I think would have been quite nice to see them. Then Vinnie Jones, Michael Owen, they all came and went.
Razor Ruddock as well.
Oh, he was a liability though.
Yeah, and I mean, there's been lots of interesting stories. He's been in and out of those reality shows for a while now. So I think people know him. What was nice was to get a personal input into Paul Merson and Matt Letitia, because I think they're both really good eggs.
I agree.
And it was really nice to see them bonding over a game, over the golf, and talking about what they've been through as pros. It was really interesting. Right, let's see how we do now. Do you think we can get a goal here, John?
I reckon we can, definitely. I think it's all just about testing how we play with each other and also getting used to these really crap players.
20 minutes to go.
I think it probably is. It's such a weird game mode, because I mean, I think I can speak for you as well. Both of us are typically Ultimate Team players.
Yeah, well, I've been playing FIFA since I was about 8 or 7 or 8, so I've been used to playing offline mode a lot longer than I've been playing on Ultimate Team.
But then for this franchise, for FIFA 20, have you been more on the Ultimate Team side of things?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I kind of like got experience in both, I suppose. Free ball.
Come on now, play him.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Oh, penalty.
No, that's a tackle, unfortunately.
Oh. I mean, I don't know if it's me, I'll ask you on that. Tackles like those, where they used to go down like that, I always seem to remember on FIFA those being given as penalties.
The FIFA fouling system is really, really warped.
So he's just chopping you over.
Oh, he's off.
But I had the ball on the edge of the box. Now, with respect, we're probably not going to score this free kick.
No, you're probably right, but we'll give it a go anyway. Right. Oh no, that moved at the last second.
Oh,
that had quite a spin on it accidentally.
So another player of theirs is down the mid. That could be talking about Middlesbrough. That could be talking about somebody in midfield, I guess. But yeah, Middlesbrough have been going down quite a few.
Dear God.
I mean, that's the sort of FIFA I hate, where you're right on the edge of the box, they chop you over there, and fine, they get a man sent off, but then they go straight to the other end.
Yeah.
And put another past you. It makes a game so soul destroying at times.
Not to be too dramatic.
It'll all be fine if we can get a goal. Go on, mate.
Oh, unlucky.
Interception that was.
Oh, nice.
Go on, head on that.
Go on.
Oh, unlucky.
No nonsense defending.
I think I did. I'd have preferred a volley there.
And here's the shot.
Oh,
Very able to
through.
get his body in the way.
It wasn't where I wanted it.
Pressed and won the ball well forward.
Oh, for goodness sake.
I think had we had a bit more luck, we'd have got a goal in one of
Abbas.
those two moves.
And the referee's letting it go.
I think
Definitely.
we maxed out our luck in the last
Trying
match.
to steer that one through.
Right, here we go. Come on now. Let's get a consolation goal.
Oh, right.
And then if we score it, we can watch the replay, and it'll be a seminal moment in the channel's history if we can get a goal.
Played it short.
Right, let's take it out
He's
wide.
got some room out there.
Get in the box.
Oh, okay. There'll be a piece of crouch or something
Put the
on
ball
the end
into
of
the
this.
middle.
Ah.
Dangerous. It's not really
not.
away. Poor clearance.
The referee has indicated there will be a minimum of 2
Abbas.
minutes.
Lost the
Here we
ball.
are, here we are, here we are, here we are.
And again.
Oh,
They could get the ball back here, and they have
There was
done.
I wanted it to be a through ball.
Yeah, so
but
did
instead
I.
it passes it straight to your feet, but okay, EA.
Now, can he take them on?
No, I wanted to go to you, for God's sake.
Well defended, not just getting
Damn it.
across.
Oh,
That was a
bit
battering.
annoying.
Find a whistle.
Well, as I say, you've got to look at the positives. We
That's
could have had
settling now,
we could have had a couple of goals in there, but I think that's good because it means we can make next episode a landmark episode as well. You know, hopefully we score our first goal and we can, you know.
I don't know how you
celebrate
got on,
it.
but I got 5 skill points from that, so hopefully use that to boost my pro. Look at those stats
Let's
though.
see. I got
Possession.
6.9.
Possession, we slightly edged them. I think the pass accuracy wasn't that bad really. I think the problem was in that final third they were just far more lethal than us, and I like to see that. Let me have a look at what their player ratings actually are. Oh no,
Ooh.
no chance of that. It's gone. Never mind. So yeah, I think that's probably where we're gonna round off our first episode in the Pro Clubs. Hope you enjoyed it. We've enjoyed it as well. We're going to try and hopefully get a second win on the board that we've actually played ourselves next time out. Let us know in the comments what you thought, any tips, hints, or just general advice. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.